everyone to today's webinar, Marketing Mondays, a 5-part digital marketing webinar series. I'm Jolene Carey Pace, the program coordinator at the Wilkes University Small Business Development Center. I'm so happy that all of you can join us for our second session today. This 5-part series is hosted in partnership with IdeaWorks Marketing and Cole Creative. Today for our second session, Digital Toolbox for Businesses, we have Donna Hansberry, the president and CEO of IdeaWorks Marketing, presenting for us. Just a quick note to please put yourselves on mute so that we can avoid having any background noise. And as we go along, you can type any questions that you might have into the chat box. And there will also be time at the end of the presentation to ask any questions that you might have. And now I'll go ahead and turn it over to Donna.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. Again, as Jolene said, my name is Donna Hansberry, and I'm with IdeaWorks Marketing. And today I'm going to give you basically an overview of a digital marketing toolkit. We're not going to go too far too deep into digital marketing. There's much to cover when it comes to digital marketing these days, as I'm sure you are all aware. But I wanted to start out just with a quick, what digital marketing is. Digital marketing, also known as online marketing, it's basically promoting your brand with potential customers using the internet and digital communication, right? So you're talking about social media, and then also, some traditional digital marketing tools as well. In terms of, social media and other forms of digital marketing, we've really never before had a way to stay in such constant contact with our customers or potential customers. And, really nothing offers us a level of personalization that digital data can provide. So we're going to talk a little bit about, the social media channels, the regular, the non-social channels for digital marketing. And I'm sure, all of you are familiar with these channels, but we're going to talk a little bit about what each of them is best suited for, the amount of engagement each of these platforms has, and some of the best ways to communicate with your customers on these various channels. So obviously there's Facebook. Facebook was one of the first social networks, aside from, I think, it was the first one. God, it's even escaping me now. But Facebook has been around for quite some time now. It's got a very large audience. Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and then TikTok, which is rapidly growing social medium, and Pinterest. And I'll talk a little bit about what each of them is best suited for. And then, of course, your website and blogging is a big part of digital marketing, email marketing, text marketing, and then chatbots. I'm just going to talk about that very briefly today, but it is something that you can use in terms of digital marketing as well. So again, briefly, I'm going to go through sort of the active users, and this is a list of. Oh, I apologize. This is a list of. I'm trying to get this view of the attendees off of my screen. So bear with me for 1 second. Just want to move it to the side so I can see my screen. Okay, there we go. So again, these are active users on these various platforms. currently, these are 2021 statistics that I have here. So Facebook has 2.74 billion active users, Twitter 353 million, Instagram 1.15 billion, LinkedIn 310 million, Pinterest 442 million, and TikTok, again, very rapidly growing social network of 850 million active users. Again, it's listing here what these particular platforms are best suited for. Facebook is best suited for B2C and B2B marketing, and that's business to consumer as well as business to business. Same with Twitter, and then Instagram, more B2C. LinkedIn is really primarily business to business marketing that is done on LinkedIn. And then Pinterest is basically business to consumer as well as TikTok. And then some of the marketing tools that are available on each of these. Facebook, you've got Facebook ads, sponsored stories, messenger ads. Twitter, you've got hashtags and promoted tweets. Instagram, you've got Instagram ads, story, photo, video ads, carousel ads, Instagram TV. Then on LinkedIn, there's LinkedIn ads, LinkedIn groups. Pinterest has promoted pins and business analytics. And then TikTok has TikTok ads. And then again, I won't read all of these to you, but I'm sure Jolene is going to share this presentation with you after our session, and you can take a look at these, and it'll tell you what each of these is ideal for, and what the aim is. But the one thing that I do want to point out about these social platforms is that advertising on them is often, depending upon the platform, but let's say Facebook in particular, is often very inexpensive. You can get a lot of bang for your buck advertising on Facebook, particularly when you're advertising to a particular geography. When you place ads on Facebook, you can pick the geography. You can get very refined in the demographic that you're looking for. So if you want to target, a particular age group, household income group, within an X mile radius of where your business is, so on and so forth, you can get very granular in the demographic that you're targeting with your promoted ads or your sponsored stories. And it's really, really very inexpensive to do it. You can spend, literally $50 or $25. It's not, it's nothing near, what advertising on television would be, or what, even running an ad in a newspaper would be. So these are some very economical ways to do some paid advertising. So those are the various platforms, the social platforms and the traditional platforms for digital marketing. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to sort of take you through some of the things that you really need to think about when you're getting into digital marketing to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. So I'm going to provide you with some of the tools that you're going to need to make sure that you're creating your profiles correctly. We're going to talk a little bit about content and engagement and so on. And on each of these pages where you see this link, it's going to link you out to some tools that are free and available to you that are very useful resources when you're creating these things. But I want to talk a little bit about the fact that digital marketing is really part of your overall marketing mix. So when we did as a part of this series last week, we did a presentation on creating a marketing plan. And Alyssa from our team did that presentation last Monday. And, what you want to make sure is that when any kind of marketing you do, whether it be traditional or digital, you want to make sure that you're starting out with a plan. You really want to start at square one and create a marketing plan so that you have a vision for what you want to accomplish. You really want to make sure that you have a goal, that you have goals created, that you have strategies created, and then really when you're doing things on social media and other forms of digital marketing, those are tactics that are part of your strategy and plan that are helping you to reach your goals. So this is all part of a marketing process. And particularly if you're just starting out in business, or you're really trying to put forth a marketing effort for your organization, you really want to make sure that you have a marketing plan that you can follow, because it's really going to help you along on your path, and it's going to give you a concrete plan, and guide to what you're trying to achieve with your marketing effort. So I just want to make that point that digital marketing, it could be overwhelming. There's a lot out there. So you really want to start by making sure that you have a plan for your marketing. So the first thing that you want to do when you're getting involved with social media is make sure that your profiles are complete on social media. So once you determine what types of social media networks that you're going to be utilizing in your marketing strategy, because it really depends on the type of business that you're in, what platforms are going to perform better for you. If you are marketing to other businesses, you're probably going to want to look more into LinkedIn and Facebook. If you're marketing direct to customers, you're probably going to want to be using Facebook and Instagram. So again, you're going to want to look at that chart I provided on the page before and see, what are the best platforms for me for my type of business. Instagram's a very visual platform. So if your business is very visual, for instance, if you're a florist or a restaurant, for instance, and you want to take photographs of your beautiful food, things of that nature, so you want to really pick the proper platforms that are going to showcase what you're doing. So, but when it comes to creating your profiles properly, there's a link here, and there's going to be links throughout this document. And I'm just
go out?
Hello. So I'm just going to click this link, and this is going to take you to a page that's going to walk you through how to create a complete profile on social media. And this is a very useful tool. It's going to take you through each of the popular platforms. So starting with Facebook, I'm just going to enlarge this a little bit. And what it's going to do is, explain each of the components of the profile, your profile photo, your cover photo, the buttons that are available to you, the posts, the about yourself section, so on and so forth. And then it's also going to give you some very helpful do's and don'ts when you're creating your profile. And it's going to do this for each of the major platforms. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, and Pinterest. So again, very, very useful information on how to create these profiles. And it's really going to make, for a better looking profile on your social media. you want to make sure that it's complete. You want to make sure that if you're leading people to your Facebook page or your Instagram page, that when they get there, it looks complete and that it looks professional. So now that you're starting to set up your social sites, the next thing is sizing graphics for social media. Again, this is a very important tool that you want to have at your disposal. You do not want to have photos on your social media pages, particularly on your profiles, but even in your posts that don't fit. It looks very unprofessional and awkward, and you don't want things cutting off of your photos that you're intending for your audience to see, etc. So you want to make sure that you're sizing your graphics properly for social media. So again, I've included a link here to a resource that's going to walk you through all of the proper sizing techniques for each. So it'll have, image guidelines for your profile picture. It'll have image sizing for your cover photo on Facebook, and so on and so forth. And it goes through each of the platforms: Facebook, Twitter, again, Instagram. So again, very useful resources. It tells you exactly what size things need to be for each of those individual platforms. And then there are two tools that I've noted here that you can also use: Adobe Spark and Landscape. The Landscape one is referenced on this page that I'm sending you to for the sizing guide. This one's a little pricey, the Landscape one. Adobe Spark is also a paid, a paid site for sizing social graphics, but it's relatively inexpensive. We use it at our agency, actually. And it is, I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's like $9.99 a month or something to that effect. But what you can do in there is you can take a particular image and then it will size it for you for all of the various platforms, because each platform has its own, guidelines for what images need to be for an ad, for a post, so on and so forth. So in Adobe Spark, it will take an image and it will size it for each of the individual platforms automatically for you. And then the other nice thing about Adobe Spark is that there's a lot of templates. There's a lot of very nice templates that you could use to create ads for your Facebook page in minutes. Instead of laboring over what am I going to do for a post. There are a lot of templates in there that you can just customize for your own business and very quickly get posts out. Because the other thing, and we're going to talk about content in a minute, but once you're engaged with social media and you're using social media to promote your business, the one thing you want to make sure is that you're continually updating your content. And it takes a lot of content to keep your social media up to date. So, that's none of these products that I'm talking about in this presentation. We're not affiliated with any of them. I'm not promoting them for any purpose other than they're ones that we use and they're ones that we like and we think are valuable. But I would recommend Adobe Spark if you're wanting to use any type of service for sizing social media graphics. Okay, so then I want to talk a little bit about content creation. So, as I said, content creation is critical when it comes to digital marketing, right? So you've got your social media, but then you've also got your own website. And, if you're doing a blog, which, I highly recommend that if you have a website, you do a blog and keep it up to date. And keeping your content current and quality is critical for a number of reasons. When it comes to search, um, new content comes into play when it comes to search engine optimization. And we're not going to get too into search engine optimization today, but Google is pretty much king when it comes to folks searching for things on the internet. And when people do search, the more quality content that you're putting out there, the higher you're going to be ranking in Google searches. So, content is king, and the more content that you have and the more posting that you're doing, the better. So the one thing that you want to do is create a lot of content, a lot of quality content, and you want to have a content schedule, right? So when we do social media for our clients, if we're managing their social media, we're typically putting together a 3-month content schedule at a time. And I'll show you some of those content schedules. And I'm going to provide you with a template to do that as well. But what you want to do is make sure, just set aside time in your day or your week or however you want to organize yourself to make sure that you have content and that you're creating content. Have it planned out what you're going to do. And then if something special occurs and you need to do some posting around, that particular event or something, that's fine. You can always add to your schedule, but make sure you have a schedule of content for posting and that, you're always ready to keep your content fresh. Another thing that I want to add here is that, if you're in business and maybe, as the owner of a small business, or you may not have a marketing team, you may be doing everything by yourself, and this is just one more thing that you have to do, and it's very difficult to keep up with the things you have to do, let alone, keeping up on social media. The one thing that you might want to look at is hiring an intern to do your social media. And, we have a lot of universities in the area, obviously Wilkes being one of them, but in addition, there are quite a few in the area. You've got Wilkes, Kings, Misericordia, Marywood, LCC, there are a ton of universities locally, and there are always marketing students that are looking for internships that sometimes they're required to have to complete their curriculum, and and obviously that they want to have for real world experience. And we use interns from the local universities all the time at our agency, and obviously they're the perfect demographic for social media, and they understand it and they know how to use it, and it's their language for sure. So, I would highly consider, hiring an intern, even if it's part-time, to manage your social media for you. Or, if you have teenage children or, young adult children, again, there's a lot of different ways to go about things. But, if you're serious about getting into digital marketing and marketing your company on social media, you need to keep the content current. And it takes a lot of content to do that. So again, there's a link here that's going to take you to some techniques for creating content. And it's just a really good article. It's like 16, as it says, 16 tips for doing good content. Write an attention grabbing headline, and then it goes through how to do that. There's also like a free headline analyzer that you can download here to make sure it's a good headline. Focus on quality, not quantity. Use the inverted pyramid to deliver information, and it goes through that. So this is, something good to really look through and read. This is, I'm trying to see who's Convenience and Convert is the website, but this is a really good article when it comes to content creation. So you can take a look at that. The next thing I wanted to talk about was creating a content calendar. Again, very important to know, to plan what you're going to be posting. Don't just try to think of something every day. And again, this is very specific to the line of business that you're in. So if you're a restaurant, you can definitely post your daily specials, things of that nature. So that may be something that, if you know what your daily specials are going to be, or if it's a weekly special that you do, so on and so forth, you're really going to have to play it by what business you're in. But I found this, and I thought this was a great tool. We do a lot of this actually ourselves for our agency. So this is a trending hashtag for social media calendar, and it is a 2021 calendar. And I'm just going to go, it's a 2021, so I'm going to go to May since we're in May already. And this is going to show you, like, for every day, what's going on that day. So it's like World Ego Awareness Day, Limerick Day, World Cocktail Day, National Be a Millionaire Day, World Meditation Day, So you could do a lot of fun things to promote engagement on your site. We're going to talk about engagement a little bit as well. Just by doing some fun things around these national world days. You see a lot of this on social media. But National Wine Day, again, if you're a restaurant, great thing to promote on your social media. And it gives you all of the appropriate hashtags that are associated with each of those, days. And there's a whole year's worth of them in this document for 2021. So that's a really nice, a really nice document to have and reference. And that'll give you a lot of content that you could build posts around. And then when it comes to social media engagement, okay, so, marketing is about telling good stories. Social media marketing is about getting your customers to tell them for you. It's not really enough to have followers on your page or likes on your page. You really want to engage your audiences on social media. You want them interacting with you. You want them commenting and responding and really, getting engaged with your brand. That's the goal of social media marketing. So, I liked what it said here. You should be treating social media engagement like a dinner party, welcoming people and encouraging conversation between the host and guests. That's how you want to think of your social media. You should never, ignore a comment that someone makes on your social media, even if it's negative. You need to, even if you need to take it offline and private message them, or, address it in some way, but don't delete negative comments from your social media. It's the quickest way to, turn followers off, or, get a, um, reputation of not listening to your customers. I mean, customers want to be heard, they want to be listened to. So if you're going to get into social media, you have to take, all that comes with it. Again, there's another link here that's going to take you to ways to increase engagement in your social media. There's a nice tool here that's a free engagement rate calculator. And this is more of an audit. This will sort of walk you through, if you already have all of your platforms set up and you want to sort of assess your engagement, you can download this engagement calculator. You have to give them some information. This is Hootsuite. Hootsuite has a ton of valuable tools that are free. That if you, they're going to send you some emails because you have to sign up. You have to sign up to get these free tools, but they don't harass you or anything. But they have a tremendous amount of free tools that are available to you when it comes to social media. So this is a social media engagement guide. So again, it's going to give you a engagement calculator to assess, your engagement that you have now. And then there are some great tips here on how to increase your social media engagement. Because again, you want, and everywhere it's going to tell you to create and share valuable content, right? So content is really the key to having people engage with your social media. Now I'm just going to talk briefly about some of the more traditional digital marketing that's not social media marketing. Email marketing is still, a great way to reach customers. And, obviously to do email marketing, you need an email list. So whether you have an email list of your current customers or potential customers that you're trying to reach, again, it's a little crowded. So if you're doing email marketing, you need to really be compelling, with your headlines, trying to get people to open email, things of that nature. And there are a lot of tips and tricks of doing that as well. I'm basically just going to give you a couple of recommendations for tools here from a standpoint of email marketing. And that's going to be Constant Contact and MailChimp. And Constant Contact is a paid service. I don't believe that they have a free service available. MailChimp does. You can use MailChimp for free up to a certain amount of emails. So up to a certain amount on your mailing list, you can use MailChimp for free. And then, but in both of these platforms, they have templates that you can customize for your emails. They're usually by industry. They're very easy to use and customize, so you can design them yourself. You can personalize them, which is very nice, etc. So, email marketing is still a very effective way to market. You just kind of have to find a way to cut through the clutter. So your headlines and your offer need to be very compelling. And I want to talk a little bit about Google Analytics. Um, Google Analytics is a free tool that allows you to see who's coming to your website and what they're doing when they get there, how they got there, whether they went through search or social, what they did when they got there and what pages they viewed and for how long. So Google Analytics are very, very valuable. It's a very valuable tool to have on your website. So you can see where your customers are coming from, how long they're spending on your website, what they're interested in on your website, so on and so forth. You know, data is one of the most valuable tools that you can have. And again, it's free. You can go to google.com/analytics and set up a profile. They'll ask you some questions, and then they'll give you a piece of code that you have to put on every page of your website in order to capture the data. But it is a free service. And again, I would advise, like, if you don't know how to do that, or don't think you have the skill set to do that on your own. It just depends who's doing your website or who's hosting it, etc. If you're using like a GoDaddy or something like that, if you built your website, they're not going to put it on for you. You're probably going to have to put it on yourself. But I would just discuss it with a web developer or a hosting company, and if you think it's outside of your skill set to do that, but it's not that difficult to do. And then this I'm just going to mention super briefly, a chatbot. Again, a lot of people find them very annoying when they're on a website. However, they are becoming an increasingly valuable tool on a website to answer some very basic questions. I put a stat here: 63% of customers will leave a company after just one poor experience, and almost 2/3 will no longer wait more than 2 minutes for assistance. So, if you have a lot of, if you have any issue with responding to customer service requests quickly, putting a chatbot on your website might be a possible solution for you to get some of these quick things answered in terms of customer service questions. And I just put this one here. It's called Olark, simply because it's fairly robust and it's inexpensive. It's like $19.99 a month. So, it's an easy way to get into having a chatbot on your website. You really have to determine whether that's the right fit for you or not. Again, totally based upon the industry that you're in and whether or not you're having an issue with that sort of thing. But it's just, again, another tool that you can use if you need it. I have some additional tools and resources here that are linked as well. This is an editorial template for an editorial calendar for social media. And again, it's a simple Excel spreadsheet. It's just, what am I posting on Facebook? And then the link that I'm taking people to Twitter, and then link Instagram, if I'm doing something there. Again, just to give you an idea of a template that you can use to schedule your social media posts. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just to make sure that you're having enough content, what you're doing. Obviously this is a business posting Monday through Friday. You may need to, again, depending upon your business, you may want to post Saturday and Sunday. You may want to post every other day. It's really going to depend on the type of industry that you're in, but it's just a guide as to a template. And I'm going to correct this typo, but I'm gonna also add a page to this. I thought I had it in here, and it's about claiming your business profile in Google. Again, that's a free thing to do. It's definitely something that you should do if you haven't done it already. It's like a 3-step process, and I'll definitely add a link to this presentation before Jolene shares it. I had it in there and I'm not sure where it went. But that's a process that you want to go through. Like if you're searching, if you search your business on Google, when it comes up, you need to claim your business on Google, and then it will show a map. You can add pictures, and it's there. You have to customize it for yourself, and put your own information in it. And this will really, it's also a great tool. It will help you come up quicker in local searches on Google as well. So if you haven't claimed your Google business profile, that's something that you are going to want to do as well. So that is a very quick snapshot of some social media tools that I think will be valuable. And at this point, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
If anyone has questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and just jump right in. Not hearing any questions. I'll go ahead and note again, like Donna said, I will send a copy of this PowerPoint out to you when I send you a follow-up email so that everyone does have a copy of it. So Donna, I would like to thank you for being here with us today and sharing your expertise. And I'd just like to note also that I will be making available the recording of this training on the Wilkes SBDC YouTube channel, and I will make sure that I email that link to all of the attendees. Now, our next session in this series is Monday, May 10th at noon, How to Make Your Business Virtual, and Cole Creative will be hosting that session. With that, I want to thank everyone for attending this training. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us at the SBDC. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you at our session next Monday. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.